Trump was at the UN today, which was quite eventful. Like, he went up in front of them and pretty much just told them off. First of all, when he got there, it was weird. He came in the building and then the escalator broke right when he was on it with his wife. And he made a comment about that because like there was, hold on, let me see if I can find this. There was reports. Oh yeah, right here. There was reports that to mark Trump's arrival, UN staff members have joked that they may turn off the escalators and elevators and simply tell him they ran out of money, so he has to walk up the stairs. You know, because he's been talking about how people aren't paying their fair share. We're going to stop paying the money. So then for that to actually happen is kind of weird. But you know, Trump, he rolls with the punches. Because then
that happened on purpose.
Yeah, I believe so too. And then after that, here's the clip of it right here. As soon as he gets on it, it stops. But only his. The other ones are still going. And then they have to walk up. And he says something about it. I don't know. Yeah, here we go.
All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
He's saying this to them like, y'all don't do nothing for us. You don't help us with nothing. But this clip right here, hold on, this clip right here where he dropped this, and I didn't know this was because of internal investigations that they found out. Remember they were talking about they were going to be looking into who's funding certain things. Check this out.
Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States. And then
the UN funded using $300 and something million funding people to come across our border.
That's amazing.
You have to get them out.
Yeah.
The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net. We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names, I see it, and I could call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before.
Bro, that was crazy to hear that they have been funding the United Nations, something that we pay more money into than anybody else in the world, and they don't protect us.
Yeah, and they're trying to destroy the U.S. from within.
Insane.
But isn't the left doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Like they're trying to destroy too.
Absolutely. And that's our own, that's the US.
Yeah. It's our own people.
Yeah.
So again, it's, you look at Soros, and it's funny how you can like back terrorist. I mean, they don't call them terrorist groups, but he's backing these groups like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all these different little groups that he's backing that they're finding out are causing destruction in cities, bringing all the pallets of bricks and all these things that were going on, funding all this stuff. And there's like a loophole with that to where it's like kind of, you can say, oh, I don't know what's really going on when I'm giving them my money. I thought I was giving it for this or that.
Yeah, you can claim you're giving it to these NGOs and you don't know what they're doing with it. You're just donating to charity.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
I would love to hear the rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
What the head of the UN or whoever the spokesperson is.
Well, that the news media is just going to come out and say Trump claims with no evidence, as they always do. No evidence, no evidence. Like, how do you know there's no evidence?
Right.
And if there is evidence, y'all just going to say there's no evidence. But Eric Doherty did a breakdown of what he covered at the UN speech. It said, at the United Nations, President Trump called for protections for Christians eviscerated the UN for funding mass migration into U.S. and Western countries, said Europe must stop adopting Sharia law, harshly criticized globalism, slammed the UN for its climate alarmism, scourged countries for funding Russia's war. I saw some clips of that. He was getting on them for like the fact that these people claim they want to stop the war, but they made all these moves, even Biden, like shutting down the Keystone pipeline. A lot of the stuff that he did made people rely more on Russia's oil, which then funded them to then go on and keep this war going. Promoted fossil fuels, urged countries to stop falling for the green scam, said the UN doesn't back up its words with any meaningful action on issues of matter, preached American exceptionalism and said none of their countries come close, demanded an end to biological weapons, concluded by urging UN members to protect their nation's identity by clamping down on mass migration and serving their people. And of course, clown the UN for its escalator breaking in the lobby and the teleprompter not working. This is something that this stuff needs to be called out, and people need to understand what we're doing and why we're having issues with the UN. Why Trump doesn't want to keep spending money in places where it doesn't benefit us at all. It actually hurts us because think about that. We're sending them money for them to then use that money to send people to our border and come in illegally and fund them with credit cards and all kinds of stuff. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. UN is causing, the whole Ukraine thing.
Yeah.
They're going to the border of Russia, treaty being broken, and we fund billions of dollars there too.
Yep, absolutely.
And then now Trump is saying that, they're giving people debit cards for their journey to cross our border illegally.
Yeah, and then
that's
even
crazy.
Beyond that, like so the missions to take in refugees, like look at what's going on in Minneapolis and all of the Somalians and that entire culture that is
Sharia law.
Yeah, and I saw someone breaking down who her family was and where she came from, and the fact that she actually was her family were like communists, so they were fleeing for their safety because they got kicked out of there. They weren't fleeing because they were poor and needed assistance. They were fleeing because they got kicked out of there, and now she's trying to implement those ideologies into our own government. I want to show y'all this clip that I just saw of this guy talking on their news station about Minneapolis.
Achieved the victory. We haven't done anywhere near enough. And the people here, I promise you, we do feel ashamed. We do feel like we're not doing enough. We do feel like change needs to come because change must come. And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah they will fall. And my message to the people of Gaza and the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old, who are going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down because they must come down.
The U.S. must come down. It must fall. These are people that are in this country.
In the country. You're in the U.S.
That was in Dearborn, Michigan. This city is already over 55% Muslim, and they clearly don't have plans at stopping there.
And they're in our country.
What were you saying, Jake?
When you said Dearborn, I just said one of the most Muslim cities in the country.
Yeah. I mean, there's places out there now that I heard they are putting Arabic writing on the police badges.
Yeah, that's Dearborn.
That's in Dearborn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have their
crazy.
own police, right?
No, this is like the actual
Sharia law police, right?
No, this is like the actual police.
What?
Yeah, because I mean, it's so heavily Islamic, it's so heavily Muslim that they're giving speeches in I know what's her name? Ilhan Omar does speeches in Somali. Like the mayor there, he's doing his speeches. The guy running from, I don't know, did he win? The guy that was running for mayor, the Somalian guy, he's doing speeches in Somali. Like it's getting wild.